Since its inception, Alliance Health has held tight to the principle that people can and do recover from behavioral health illnesses. To make this principle a reality, we are working to nurture a culture within our organization that is focused on and responsive to the individuals we serve. To do this requires a rethinking of people's capacity to recover, the services available to them, and the role of providers and community stakeholders in facilitating the recovery process. We must continue to take steps to ensure a common understanding of recovery among our providers and across the community at large. At Alliance, we're working towards a recovery-focused system of care, collaborating to provide an effective network of resources for community members and families experiencing emotional distress and disability-related needs, so they can heal, have hope for the future, and live personally meaningful lives. To this end, we're building a continuum of residential options that allow individuals to live as they choose, to experience the dignity of risk, and to have the independence and life experience all of us want. What follows is one of a series of 6 trainings that provide some basic tools needed to support the people we serve with the dignity and respect they deserve, to improve our communities by allowing them to experience all of their citizens' different gifts, and to enjoy inclusive neighborhoods that embrace the value of every member.
When people do not see recovery as part of their lives, they need to be surrounded with possibilities of recovery.
My name is David Prater. I am a person in long-term sustained recovery from a substance use disorder. For me, that means I haven't put any mood or mind-altering substances into my body since May 26th of 2018. My story begins with realizing at a young age that I was gay and feeling that I didn't fully fit in as a result. I began smoking crystal meth at the age of 18, and for the next 15 years, crystal meth was my master. That drug led me down a long, hard road, feelings of wanting to end it all. Feelings of depression, like I didn't belong, like I didn't fit in anywhere, like I wasn't worth anything. Fortunately, I found hope. For me, that meant that when I went to the Durham County Jail, I was enrolled in a program called the STAR program, Substance Treatment and Recidivism Reduction. While I was there, I was taught about the disease of addiction. I was given some great tools to help me along my recovery journey, and I met people that gave me hope. One of those people was an amazing woman named Ramona Branch. Alliance was an instrumental part in my recovery journey. When I left the Durham County Jail, I knew I couldn't go back to where I was living before. I needed to find safe and sober housing. And Alliance helped connect me with funding assistance to get me on my feet. They helped me with finding counseling and other services which would support me along my recovery journey. I have hope for the future, and that was something I didn't feel when I was living in an abandoned building, when I was having to steal to eat. Today, I don't know exactly where my life is going, but I have faith that if I continue forward with doing the next right thing, if I keep myself connected with positive influences in my life, and I continue to pay back the karmic debt that I've incurred, that my life will be one that brings me satisfaction and fulfillment. Hope is real, recovery is possible, and that every person deserves to live their best life.
As you've just seen, part of one's success can be attributed to working with a peer support specialist.
So the main reason why I became a peer support specialist is because I wanted to use my past experience to inspire someone, to help them, give them support, to cheer them on, to let them know, that recovery is possible. And, it's really important to me for me to be able to share my past experience with someone in hopes that they can learn something about that so they can learn to grow and they don't think that it's it's a dead end, that I'm going nowhere. I have this thing that I just can't shake off, and it's very possible for people to live very great and productive lives. And it's just, I've always wanted to help people, and I've always done that my whole life. So it's just an inspiration to me, to be able to help someone and guide them, with my lived experience, because a lived experience is something, that it isn't something that you go to school to learn. It's something that you learn by going through it yourself. And, I just wanted to instill hope in someone, help them be able to move across the hurdles and support them. Listening is like a really big thing about being a peer, because you just can't go in and talk. You have to be able to listen, and you have to be able to effectively communicate with them, and, understanding, that I've been there and I've done that. I've walked in your shoes before. I know that it's possible for you to overcome this. And so, that's probably the most rewarding thing about being a peer, is, watching people grow and watching them live their best life.
A person experiencing emotional distress fell into a hole and couldn't get out. A businessman went by. The person in the hole called out for help. The businessman threw him some money and told him, "Get yourself a ladder." But the person could not find a ladder in this hole that he was in. A doctor walked by. The person said, "Help, I can't get out." The doctor gave him some drugs and said, "Take this, it will relieve the pain." The person in the hole said thanks, but when the pills ran out, he was still stuck down there, all alone. A renowned psychiatrist rode by and heard the person's cries for help. He stooped and said, "How did you get down there? Were you born there? Were you put there by your parents? Tell me about yourself. It will alleviate your sense of loneliness." So the person talked with him for 50 minutes. Then the psychiatrist had to leave, but he said he'd be back next week. The person thanked him, but was still in his hole. A priest came by. Again, the person in the hole called out for help. The priest gave him a Bible and said, "I'll say a prayer for you." He got down on his knees and prayed, then left. The person was very grateful. He read the Bible, but he was still stuck in that hole. A peer mentor happened to be passing by. The person cried out, "Hey, help me, I'm stuck in this hole." Right away, the peer mentor jumped in the hole with him. The person in the hole said, What are you doing? Now we're both stuck down here." The peer mentor said, "It's okay. I've been here before, and I know how to get out."
Did you know that over 85% of people with severe and persistent mental illness are unemployed? But more importantly is that over 75% of those people do want to work.
Their goals, to be honest, are very obtainable. The mental health symptoms that they experience and are challenged with, a lot of times are the hindrance to them not working. It's definitely most times not that they don't want to work, and at times it's really about their history and the information they've been given. Them not knowing that there are certain occupations that would be accommodating to the symptoms that they have. For instance, someone who has a certain diagnosis where they don't like to be around loud noises, or they don't like to have a lot of communication and interaction with other people. Now, there are jobs that they're able to do that has limited interaction with others. They just usually aren't afforded that information and given those opportunities and access to them. I believe having vocational skills yields results for a person all around in terms of assisting with them managing their mental health symptoms. At times, not having employment could lead to isolation and withdrawal, which can magnify the mental health symptoms that they're already dealing with. So developing those social skills and having a vocational support creates a certain independence in the population that we service, and it's just good for them all around from what we've been able to tell from the results.
People want to work, and deserve to have all the things that any of us would want for ourselves and our families. People can work and live a life that they value. Then they can truly become a part of their community, a contributing member of their community, with all the benefits and feelings of accomplishment that come with that.